Emmerdale spoilers. 5 big moments tonight as the police call out Paddy's lies. In Tuesday's tense Emmerdale episode, Paddy Dingle is shocked to discover the new evidence that DS Walsh has against him. Can he do enough to talk himself out of trouble? Meanwhile, Jacob Gallagher takes his workplace frustrations out on Sarah Sugden, and Arthur Thomas's big secret is under threat. Read on for 5 early teasers from the latest episode. DS Walsh makes her move by arriving in the village to confront Paddy. The element of surprise works out well, as Paddy is flabbergasted to be summoned back down to the police station for questioning. In an official interview, Walsh interrogates Paddy about the rope she spotted at the vet's surgery, and how it matches the one used to tie up Ray's body. Taking no chances, the formidable detective has already seized the telltale item for examination. Walsh once again lays out her theory that Bear wasn't acting alone when he tried to get rid of Ray's body. She points out that it would have been too difficult for Bear to move the villain's remains without help. Paddy sees that he's at a crossroads when Walsh gives him one last chance to come clean about his involvement. Will he take it, or continue to lie? Sarah spots Dr. Todd's sports car in the village and decides to steal it, hoping to bring in some more fast cash for Kane. Before Sarah can get inside, Jacob steps in to stop her and points out that the expensive vehicle belongs to his manager at work. Jacob panics over the close call, realizing that this could have made matters even worse between him and his bullying boss. With his stress levels high, Jacob loses his temper, especially when Sarah refuses to disclose any details over what's really going on. Laurel suffers a brief dizzy spell at Mulberry Cottage, so Manpreet calls round on a home visit to check on her. As Laurel is still claiming that she doesn't know the reason for her recent blackout, Manpreet sends Arthur and Gabby away so they can chat privately. Will Manpreet find out that Arthur caused the incident by pushing Laurel? Jai and Carrie clash in front of their colleagues at the depot, despite the recent romantic chemistry between them. Behind closed doors, it's a very different story in Jai's office when Carrie comes in for a supposed work chat. How long can they keep this up without arousing suspicion? It's the moment Paddy has been dreading. After weeks of guilt, panic, and desperately trying to keep his version of events straight, the net begins to tighten around Paddy when the police make a surprise return to the village. What initially seemed like a routine follow-up quickly takes a sharp turn when inconsistencies in his previous statement are raised. Viewers have watched Paddy spiral ever since the night in question, convinced he was protecting someone he cares about. But tonight, officers reveal new evidence that directly contradicts his timeline, and it's enough to make even the calm vet visibly shaken. As questioning intensifies, Paddy struggles to keep his composure. His nervous glances and defensive tone don't go unnoticed, especially by those closest to him. When pressed on why his phone records don't match his earlier claims, he falters, and it's clear the police sense blood in the water. The real tension comes when an officer bluntly tells him that knowingly giving false information could carry serious consequences. Is Paddy about to confess? Or will he double down and dig himself into an even deeper hole? 2. Mandy demands the truth. Back at home, the atmosphere between Paddy and Mandy is electric, and not in a good way. Mandy has stood by him, trusting that whatever he's been hiding must have a good reason. But after hearing that the police have returned and that questions are being raised, her patience snaps. She confronts him head-on, demanding to know exactly what he's not telling her. At first, Paddy tries to brush it off, insisting it's just a misunderstanding. But Mandy knows him too well. She spots the cracks in his calm exterior immediately. The confrontation turns emotional fast. Mandy reminds him they've fought too hard for their relationship to let secrets destroy it now. But when she directly asks whether he lied to the police, Paddy's silence says more than any confession could. For Mandy, it's a devastating realization. Not only is Paddy in potential legal trouble, he didn't trust her enough to tell her the truth. Will she stand by him once she knows the full story? Or is this the beginning of another heartbreaking rift? 3. Chaz finds herself caught in the middle. Elsewhere, Chaz is blindsided when she learns just how serious the situation has become. Already dealing with her own emotional baggage, the last thing she needs is more drama. But when word spreads around the village that Paddy may have lied to the police, she can't ignore it. Her first instinct is to defend him. After everything they've been through, part of her still feels protective. But as more details emerge, doubts creep in. In a tense exchange at the Woolpack, Chaz questions Paddy directly. Unlike Mandy's emotional plea, Chaz takes a more pragmatic approach. She wants to know exactly what he's risking. When Paddy finally admits that he may have bent the truth, Chaz is stunned. She warns him that lies like this don't stay buried in a village like theirs. If he thinks he's protecting someone, he could actually be dragging others down with him. The weight of her words lands heavily. For the first time, Paddy seems to realize just how far-reaching the consequences could be. Is this the wake-up call he needs? 4. A shock witness changes everything. Just when Paddy thinks the day couldn't get worse, a new bombshell drops. A surprise witness comes forward claiming they saw something significant on the night in question. Something that directly contradicts Paddy's original statement. The identity of the witness sends shockwaves through the village. This isn't a stranger or passing visitor. It's someone firmly embedded in village life. Their account doesn't just cast doubt. It threatens to completely unravel Paddy's defense. Police waste no time arranging another interview, and this time the tone is far less friendly. Paddy is warned that continuing to withhold information could escalate the matter into a formal charge. As panic sets in, he's forced to make a life-altering choice. Continue protecting the truth, or finally come clean. The tension in these scenes is palpable, with every pause and glance loaded with meaning. One wrong move now could cost Paddy everything. 5. The village turns against him. By evening, gossip is spreading like wildfire. In a place like this, secrets rarely stay secret for long. Conversations in the shop, hushed whispers outside the pub, and concerned looks exchanged across the street all make one thing clear. The village is watching. Some believe Paddy must have had a good reason. Others aren't so forgiving. Trust is currency in the village, and once it's spent, it's hard to earn back. The most heartbreaking moment comes when someone unexpectedly questions Paddy's integrity to his face. Accused of putting others at risk, he looks utterly defeated. For a man who's built his life on compassion and honesty, being painted as a liar cuts deep. As night falls, Paddy sits alone, the weight of his choices pressing down on him. The consequences are no longer theoretical, they're real, and they're closing in. Will he hand himself in before things spiral further? Or will the police make the next move? What happens next? Tonight's episode of Emmerdale delivers emotional confrontations, high-stakes drama, and a ticking clock sense of dread that leaves viewers questioning everything. Paddy's lies were meant to protect, but instead they may destroy the very life he was trying to hold together. With relationships fracturing, the police circling, and a shock witness threatening to expose it all, the fallout is only just beginning. One thing's for sure. By the end of tonight's episode, nothing in the village will feel quite the same again.